Now, allegations that the government has been making use of American spy surveillance to watch over British citizens' internet activities have provoked a considerable backlash. One senior Labour MP described it as the snooper's charter through the back door. Conservative MPs have also voiced their grave concerns, and senior US intelligence figures are worried that any major revelations could be damaging to America's relationship with the UK. The Foreign Secretary, William Hague, is the Cabinet Minister who oversees the UK's eavesdropping centre, GCHQ, and he joins me now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Were you surprised by the revelations?
Well, I think I've been around long enough not to be surprised by any revelations about anything. But I think there are some things that people need to know about how we handle intelligence. I will give a statement to Parliament, by the way, tomorrow on this. And, of course, the Intelligence and Security Committee will be able to look at all the details about what happens on this, or they're fully entitled to look at all aspects of our intelligence gathering. But what people need to know is intelligence gathering in this country by the United Kingdom is governed by a very strong legal framework, so that we get the balance right between the liberties and privacy of people and the security of the country. And that provides not for trawling through people's, the contents of people's phone calls. It provides for intelligence gathering that is authorized, necessary, proportionate, and targeted on what we really need to know. And of course we share a lot of information with the United States. That's been the case since the Second World War, that the US and the UK have an exceptional intelligence sharing relationship. But if information arrives in the UK from the United States, it's governed by our laws. And GCHQ has been praised by the commissioners who look at these things recently for the highest standards of integrity and legal compliance.
OK. Did you know about PRISM, though?
Well, I can't ever confirm or deny in public what Britain knows about and what Britain does, for the obvious reasons. Once we start doing that on this or anything else, then the terrorists we're trying to defeat, the foreign intelligence agencies we are competing with, build up the picture of what we do. The Intelligence and Security Committee can look at all of that.
But, I mean, it's all over the papers today. It's all this sort of, you know, the allegations, where the information has come from, the companies that supposedly have been targeted. The Guardian has been running with the story for the last few days. Are you going to be able to tell the British public, full stop, whether or not PRISM exists and whether or not you have been getting information on British citizens from it?
No, we can talk about the framework in which we do things, and we can give people the assurances about how that works. We can't possibly get into, yes, we exactly do this or we exactly do that. That, as I say, gives to people, the very people that we're trying to keep this country safe from, the information they need to know about how they can get round what we do, how they could try to do that.
But if PRISM is being used, it looks like you are getting round the legal structures that are in place, because you can get that information. You can get information from US internet companies, but you have to apply for it. It looks like for maybe 3 years you have been getting information without legally applying for it.
Well, sometimes, because when people look, of course, at when they get partial information about what is really a vast, complex picture, all sorts of things can look true or untrue. But it follows from what I was saying earlier about the very high standards of legal compliance of GCHQ and the very strong legal framework that this country has. That, to me, as someone who knows GCHQ very well, and I authorize operations most days of the week by GCHQ, so I know how they work. The idea that in GCHQ people are sitting, working out how to circumvent a UK law with another agency in another country is fanciful. It is nonsense. And I think I can give people that assurance.
But you do, as you say, have to authorise it. So if this has been going on, you would have to authorise it. You would know about it. David Davis, the former Shadow Home Secretary, says that it is highly likely that you and Theresa May knew this was going on.
Well, ministers give authority to the actions of GCHQ, and what GCHQ does has to be in line with those authorities. We can say that in general terms, but that's also worth a word about, so that people understand the extent of the checks and balances in this system. Intelligence gathering operations by GCHQ or MI5 or MI6 come to me or the Home Secretary personally. It's not something we delegate to a junior minister. We take our duties on that very seriously, both of us, as I'm sure did our predecessors in other governments. We spend hours on these things every week. It comes with every request comes with clear legal advice and the justification for any interception, for instance. Our decisions are then subject to continual review by an interception commissioner, and our work is subject to the scrutiny by the cross-party intelligence and security. So
let's just be clear. So, I mean, we read that there was something like 197 requests for information from PRISM. You would have authorised all those?
Well, as I've explained, I can't go into the exact details
but we can assume
of how
that you would, because you say that you authorise.
So I cannot possibly confirm or deny those things. But that legal framework is strong, that ministerial oversight is very strong. And the net effect of all of that, which I think people who will be concerned about these things, having listened to the media and seen leaks of other things, the net effect is if you are a law-abiding citizen of this country, going about your business and your personal life, you have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear about the British state or intelligence agencies listening to the contents of your phone calls or anything like that. Indeed, you'll never be aware of all the things those agencies are doing to stop your identity being stolen and to stop a terrorist blowing you up tomorrow. But if you are a would-be terrorist or the centre of a criminal network or a foreign intelligence agency trying to spy on Britain, you should be worried, because that is what we work on, and we are, on the whole, quite good at it.
It's one thing to say to the British public, look, the threat level is so high, we need to carry out this kind of surveillance. We need to look at stuff on Facebook. We need to look at what's on Google or Skype conversations. It's another thing to do it covertly and not tell people at all.
Well, there are, of course, good reasons. And first of all, I can't accept in any totally legitimate and understandable questions, but I can't accept all the premises of the questions. But why do we not tell people how we go about, in detail, gathering intelligence? It's because some thought goes in on the part of terrorist networks, criminal networks, intelligence agencies of other countries, as to how they can communicate without GCHQ or the Secret Intelligence Service finding out about them. So if actually we could tell the whole world and the whole country how we do this business, I think people actually would be enormously reassured by it, and they would see that the law-abiding citizen has nothing to worry about. But if we did that, it would defeat the objective. This is secret work. It is secret intelligence. It's secret for a reason, and a reason that is to do with protecting all the people of this country.
You're going to have a lot of unanswered questions, though, even if you do make a statement to the Commons tomorrow.
Well, that's in the nature of secret intelligence.